So what's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time tuning in, please make sure you don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So we're going to be continuing from where we stopped on our masterclass yesterday. Today we're going to be showing us how to use the tracking parts of After Effects, how to motion track camera, the 3D camera track tools, and the wrap stabilizer, and all that has had to do with tracking. So I'm going to be using this clip, so I just have to select and then drag it to After Effects. This time I'm using After Effects CC 2020. You can use any version for this. So I'm going to be taking this down. Mind you, there are things for you to note in After Effects if you want to make a successful camera track. Make sure your camera, your video resolution. This is the resolution of the video. It shows here, it says 1920 by 1080. Make sure it matches the same resolution of that of the composition. Okay, like I said to you guys in the first video, if you guys have not seen that, you can go back to the first one, the beginner's tutorial, where I actually explain a lot about this composition. If it does not match, the 3D camera tracker might not work. Okay. So now we have a clip here. As you can see, if I should play, let me take it out of the volume. If I should play this clip now, this is how it goes. You can literally see it. And another thing you should also know, that make sure your clip is not that shaky. Like this is good enough. Make sure it's not that shaky. Okay, so the 3D camera tracker can actually do its job. Okay. So now you're gonna come over here. You see the this menu. It says track, and there you have the track camera, warp stabilizer, stabilize motion. Now if yours is not here, just come over to the top left corner and then click on Windows and then click on trackers. Okay, it's gone now because I just turn it off. So if I want to turn it back on, click on Windows and then come down to tracker. That's it. So now the next thing we have to do is click on track camera. So once you click on track camera, you're going to see this analyzing in background. Now this you can see at the top left corner, it's also say the 3D camera tracker. That's the plugin selected. So now you can see it's tracking. It says frame 10 out of 246 frame. Now mind you, this is going to take long depending on the duration and the quality of the video. Okay, and the video, so like and also the spec of your computer. If you're using a high graphics card, and even if the video is that heavy, but because your computer graphics card is that strong, you can handle this fast. Just like the higher the specs of the computer, the faster everything works. That's just how it does. So I'm just going to wait for this to finish its process of tracking. Okay, now so it's done tracking. You can see it's here solving camera. After now, it's trying to propagate all the points in the video. So I just wait. Let's see how it goes. It's about to go down now. It's probably take a few seconds. Okay, now so it's done tracking. You can see some tiny spots on the floor. It's not that visible to zoom. Let me make this a full resolution. But you can see them, some tiny spots, and each time I go through the spots, you keep seeing stuff like this on the floor. Yes, that's it. This a tiny spot on the floor. Now if I should come here now, let's say I want to place, let's say this 3D camera tracker work. It literally lets you place 3D stuff on anywhere. So now let me say I want to place stuff here at the beginning of this clip here. All you have to do is right click, and then it says create text and camera, create solid and camera, create null and camera, create shadow. So I'm going to take this second one first. It says create solid and camera. So if I should click this now I got this green stuff here. Now if I should play this video now, notice what's happening. The 3D stuff now, it's actually placed in the 3D space. Like it's actually sitting on 3D airspace. It's just there. That's what the 3D camera tracker does. It lets you place 3D objects on air. Lets it just stay there, like anywhere you want it. That's why you've been able to track the scene. Now if I want to place, let me place another one here. Solid. This time it's not showing camera. This time you can notice it's not showing camera solid because the 3D camera is already created here. So that's why it's not showing camera solid. So now we got two objects. You can see them. I play that. You can see it now. See one here. The camera is moving. It look like it's just literally staying there, like the way this stuff are on the floor. It's just there. It's not moving. Like wow, this is amazing. So now I'm thinking like, okay, what else can we do with this? Like, what else can we do with this? Now let's get on to the next one. The next one says if you click the video, click your 3D camera tracker from there, and then come back to the video. So the next one, right click, it says create text. So if I should click this now, you see you have a text here. If I play it now, the same thing also applies to the text. You can see the text is just sitting there on 3D airspace, just there. It's not moving. It's like it was just painted on the floor. So now let me show you something about this. Now you might be saying, okay, I want to change the text. You want to change the text. Mind you, everything you're creating here, you're actually creating here on the timeline. You can see them. This is the first, this is the second, this is it. And mind you, they're all, you can see the 3D checkbox is actually turned on. So everything you create that is actually on 3D space is actually 3D. If you turn off the 3D from all this stuff, you can see they're no longer 3D. You can just see they're just following the screen. You can see they're no longer 3D. You cannot see them again. But if I should turn them back on, you can see they're now in their 3D spaces now. So let's say you want to edit this text. You want to edit this text. All you just have to do is double click on the text. I can let me say I want to change this thing to man. So I always use man. So if I should play this now, you get something like this. You can see the man is literally just there. Let me make this as a quarter resolution so it produces very fast. You can see the man is just there. So let's say I don't want it to be here now. I say, okay, now I want the text to be somewhere around here close to this gate. You can literally adjust that. All you just have to do is come over, click on the text. You can rotate this from here. You can just make any rotation. This is the After Effects CC 2020. It has a lot of feature. I can literally click on this and rotate this. Sorry, my cap lock was on. I can just click on this and then rotate it anywhere I want. Or if I don't want to use this way, for those of you using the older version of After Effects, you can just come over to the text below here, press arrow on your keyboard, and then it shows you the full property, the orientation, the rotation, and everything. You can see I can twist it anywhere I want. I can turn it left or right. You can see it. Manually doing this from the property. Then if I want to take it back to that edge where the gate is, I can just click here on the arrow and then take it back. To get a stable one, you can press shift and then as soon as you press shift, hold it down and then drag up or down. Then it goes where you want it to be. You can see it's literally standing at the gate points now. I should play the clip now. You can see it's just there. So let me play it now. So you see it's just there. The clip is just steady in that spot. Yeah, this literally also applies to videos and picture. Let's say you want to put in a picture in this video, or you want to put in a picture, or you want to put in a video, and this you want it to be like, let me say you want it to be on this part of the wall. Want it to be on the wall. It's easy. All you just have to do is bring in your clip or video. Let me bring in a picture. So I just imported a picture and a video. This is a picture and a tree and a weather spark foreign weather. So now if I should bring this onto this, the clip now. So let's say I want to bring this now. All I just have to do is just drag this to the first of all I want to bring in this tree so you guys can see it. This tree is actually PNG, so it's transparent, so you can just see it. If I should play the video now, you can notice it's just there. It's not, nothing's happening, just on 3D airspace. But now if I should come over here, that's because the 3D box is not actually activated. So if I should click here now you can see it's now 3D. It just moves straight to the gate. You can see. So you can see it's literally on 3D airspace, and it's just here. You can see it on airspace, the 3D air, and you can just see it. Wow, that's amazing. Now you can literally also adjust this. You can actually rotate this. You can actually rotate. Sorry, that was the wrong one. This is the butch. Okay, you can just press arrow on your keyboard and then rotate this. You can change the animation. You can actually rotate this to any angle you want. So we want this to be on the wall. Okay, so since we want this to be on the wall, I want to rotate this. You can actually come here to manually rotate this, but I just want to use the easy way and fast way. This is actually After Effects CC 2020, so I'm just rotating this to be flat, so I can just place this to the wall, because since it's the wall, it should be this flat. Yeah, good. This is a tutorial. It's not that perfect though, so just for tutorial's sake, I'm just placing the wall. These things are quite tricky sometimes. Okay, so as you can see here, let me just I can see it's actually on the wall. It doesn't look that stable that on the wall though. So you can manually adjust this to fit on the wall. Unless I want it to be here. Now we have to animate this to make it look really good that it's really on the wall. So what we have to do is click on the tree, press P on your keyboard, which is the position. Let me start at the beginning of the clip so we'll see where it is. Press P on the position. You turn on the stopwatch. Remember I told you about animations. And then you move forward. Oh, it's literally sitting there because it's 3D. But since in the first part, you know, it's actually in front of the light, so you still want it to be in front of the light. So you wait till you get to that part, and then you push it, or you can just drag it to that place. Yeah, good. So if the clip should play now, this is what you get. So you can see it's literally there until the part where stopwatch work. So that just literally is okay. You can actually do multiple animations. You can animate this stuff to, like let's say we want to animate it, and let me just do this for just the text alone, this X. So I want to turn on the orientation, the X. Let me see which one is this. Okay, the X literally turns it from down to up. So I want to be animating just the X axis. So in the beginning of the clip it's that way. So if I take it here, I want it to go down. So I'll just slide it down. Okay, I'll do this other way around. So I'm literally animating all this stuff now. So I can see if I still want it to be down at this point, I just have to click on the stopwatch, this ending part here, and then it's now what this is doing. It means I just replicated this. I can literally just copy this, Ctrl+C, and then move the cursor to where I want it, and then press Ctrl+V to still be there. So I want it to, when it gets to this part, it gets back up. So you can see here. I want it to, once it gets to this part, I want it to rotate like 360. So let me see which one is okay. This is it for it. So all you just have to do is click on the stopwatch on the Y rotation. So the Y rotation now, and then move it a little bit forward, and then change its orientation. And then yeah, we got something rotating. So if I should, let me take this a little bit forward. So if I should play this now, this is how it's gonna look like. You can see it's going down because of the first animation we did. Now it's going back up, and then the second one, and then it's rotating. Wow, you see that? That's the power of keyframe and animation. That's what it does. So you can actually take your time and then explore more about the 3D camera tool. You can literally put stuff anywhere you like. These are mostly used in most of my videos and most cinematic videos. So now we'll be going over to the next. Okay, so yeah, I literally forgot. So now that's all for what the it's actually doing. So now if you check now, there's one last one here on the scene. It says if I should right click, it says create null. So the null is just like a pinpoint. So let me create a null. So let's click on it. You can see it's here just like this. The null is actually like a 3D stamp, like a pinpoint that lets you, like a pin, you know, like let me say you put a nail on the wall and then you want to tie stuff to it. That's what the null is actually doing. The null literally lets you put 3D stuff, pin stuff to point that already tracked. So it's just literally there in 3D space. That's what the null actually does. So let's say this is the null now. If I have let me say this is the, let me bring in this this other layer. Sorry, I want to bring in that weather. So I'm not going to make this 3D. Oh, it's too big. Let me scale this down. Press S on your keyboard and then scale this down. So now I want to parent it to the null. This is the null. All I have to, you see this stuff here that looks like a rope, drag it, and then this is the null, link it to the null. You can literally just change that. If you don't do that through that process, you can just look at the name of the null. It's number 2 track null 1. So you can just click from here and then you see it number 2 track null 1. If yours is not having this option, you can just come over down here, click on toggle switch to make sure that option is available. It's always available. So number 2 track null 1. So now if I should play the video now, it's not literally following it now because this is actually a 3D scene, and this null you see here, this object is not a 3D because I've not turned on the 3D. So if I should turn on the 3D now, you can see where it is. You can see it's just linked to that null. You can see it's following the null everywhere. You can see the video here is very small and following the null. But if let me just say I want to, now you might be thinking, oh, because I turned it as a 3D layer, now you might be thinking, okay, let me bring this same video layer again, let me bring it here, and then let me scale this down. Now I want to make it a 3D layer without linking it to the null. If I should make it a 3D layer now, sorry, a 3D layer now, you can see where this one is sitting now. It's sitting close to the gate. Now this one is actually here because I linked it to the null. So you can see if I should play this now, amazing, we've got two stuff now. This one is just on its own on 3D, and this one is linked to the null. So that's what the null does. So anywhere I move the null to, the video literally follows it. You can see, sorry, let me go over to the null now. If I move the null now, anywhere I move it to, the video literally follows it. I move it left or right, that video follows it. That's just the power of the null. The null is just like a pinpoint that has a command on any object that's attached to it. So that's basically the work of the null. So yeah, so that's it for the null. So now let's move over to the next one, which is the track motion. Okay guys, so on this next one I'm going to be showing you guys how to use the motion track in After Effects. So I'm going to be dragging in my clip here. I already have a clip, which is this one. So I'm going to be using this as a track. First, the tracking is actually you just pinning stuff to places where they are meant to be, or anywhere. So literally I want to track this, but I want to pin something. If I should play this now, you can see, sorry, let me take out the noise. So you can see this so I want to track this clip, so I just have to take this. I don't want to track the whole scene because some parts are blurry and it's not that good to track. So I just want to track to this point, about 2 seconds. So this, and right click and then trim come to work area. So this is just what I want to track. So I'm going to be tracking this point, this particular dots here. So come over, select the clip, make sure if your tracker, if this track menu is not on, come over to Windows and make sure the tracker is checked on. Then click on track motion, make sure it's at the beginning of the clip, and then you see this stuff here, this track point is really small. I have to zoom in to see it. So you need to drag this to this point and make sure this thing is selected to the point you want to track. I'm going to expand this a little bit, this outer box. This is called the search region. So here, select this other angle here, so it's going to track this thing here. Let me zoom out a little bit, and then I can see this one, it says analyze 1 frame forward, just like you skipping just 1 frame forward. And this one says analyze forward. This one is also the same thing. This is just the opposite of this one. So I'm going to be clicking analyze forward. So here you go, it's tracking, and it's done. So it's done tracking. So now the next thing you have to do now is come over to this part of the screen, right click, come over to new, and then click on null object. Remember I told you about the null? The null is just like a pin that lets you transfer command into, and then you pin other objects to it. So come back here to the track menu of the stuff you track, click back the video layer where it has the tracking data, click on edit target, and then come over here. It says null 1, which is this null. Literally you have to select the null object, the null which you created. That's the one you have to create. So since it's the null, click null and then click OK, and then after that click on apply. It's gonna ask you X and Y rotation axis dimension. So click OK. So now if you click the video, now we have this red, you can see the red dot is moving. You can see it, so it's literally following this stuff. So now I want I really want this stuff. This is the video I want. Let me scale this down. You can see if I should play this now, this is what you get. You can see it's not actually pinpoint. You can see it just moving, it's waving around the screen. But now, so I want this video to be pinned to that point where I track. So now I can just literally come over to the video here, select this pick whip tool, and then take it to the null object. Or I can just literally just come over here and then select the null, this particular null. Now if I should play this now, you can see what's happening. You can see that the video is no longer moving like before. It's just the way it is now. It just pinned to that point which I tracked. You can see that's the advantage of using the null to track. Okay, so now I'm going to show you another way to use the null to track. The null can also be used in tracking moving objects, like the way this guy is moving on the screen, but that's not what we're here for. Let me show you another way to use the other parts of the null, the motion track, sorry. So let me delete this now. Delete this, and I'm just going to be deleting this null out of the scene. I'm going to be showing you how to use the 4-pin tracker. So if I should come over here again, come over to track motion, and then come down here from track type, change this to perspective, point perspective corner pin. So now it gives you 4 tracking points, unlike the other one that gives you just 1. So you're going to literally have to arrange this just like we did for the other but this time we have to take it to 4 different parts. So oh sorry, this is too big. So literally take this up to different angles. This is 1, this is 2, so this is 3, and this is the 4th one. So now basically this is the screen is going to be occupied because I want to track this 4 point. Basically anything I want to put in will be in this space, in between this space, okay, this small space which I'm tracking. So now let me zoom out. If I should click now, let me zoom in a little bit so you can actually see the tracking points. So now if I should click this now, and I can actually track back or forward depending on where the indicator is. If the indicator is at the end, I'll have to track backward, but since it's at the beginning I have to track forward. So analyze forward, you can see it's tracking, it's tracking, it's tracking, it's tracking, it's tracking, it's tracking. Voila, so we got an amazing track point now. So now unlike the first one, we had to place in the track properties into the null, but this one, since we want to make this, we need to make this object to be here in between, like we're actually replacing this screen of this stuff. We're using this original one, this original shot. So come over to edit, and then it's going to actually see the name of this clip, that I say that's what's here now. So click OK, and then let me turn this on. So once you click that OK, and then click on apply, so now you should have this. You can see the screen is literally there now. I should play this now. So you can see it now, it's actually on the screen. You see that those are the 4 points at which we track. If the 4 points were actually at the bigger part of the screen, this same thing also happens to fit up to the screen. You can actually also scale this up to fit up with the screen. So that's it for the track motions in After Effects. You can actually also track moving object, like this guy moving inside that screen. You can actually track him and then place stuff to his body. But if you're actually seeing in tutorial, you can actually do that on your own. So now let's move on to the next on how to use the wrap stabilizer to stabilize a clip that are actually shaky. So now let's go over to guys. So on this next one, I'm going to be showing you guys how you can actually stabilize your clip, which is this wrap stabilizer. What it actually does, it actually used to stabilize clip that are actually shaky. So let me find a clip that's actually shaky. Let me think of this one here. So let's see how it goes. So let's say for those of you actually not using a gimbal and your clip was shaky and you want to make it look smooth and stable, if you can see this one, you just somehow waving. I actually use my phone to record this, so it's not that balanced. I don't want to track a whole long shot, so I just want to make it like a 5-second clip. So let's see how it goes. You can see how it's actually moving. So I don't want it to be this shaky, so I just want to track this few part from the 5th second. Okay, this should be here. I just want to track like 5 seconds of this clip. So now here we go. So now you select the clip and then click on wrap stabilizer. So it should show this analyzing in background, like you're actually doing the 3D camera tracker, like it's somehow the same but it's on a different page. So guys, just like I say, you can see it's actually tracking now. It says you can see the frame just like the 3D camera tracker. So let's wait till this is finished tracking. Okay guys, you can see now the clip is now stable. Now you can see how the motion is now smooth, like the camera is now going smooth. Like I actually used a gimbal, but this was actually recorded on my phone that was shaky anyhow. And now you can see the difference between when it's been tracked with the wrap stabilizer and the normal way. Like if I should turn off the effect, you can actually use, if you want to turn off any effect, you can actually just come over to the effect and then click check off and then off. You can see it zoomed out, and if I should play this now, you will get that old look. You can see it's shaky again, it's not that stable. I'm going to drop the clip so you guys can see it for yourself. So if I should turn this back on, you can see it's zoomed in and then it's going smoothly. So that's basically the work of the wrap stabilizer. Okay guys, so now that'll be all for this part. We'll be moving on to the stabilize motion. It's most likely just like the wrap stabilizer but on a different way. But so basically these are the three major important parts. We'll be moving on to this stabilize motion on another tutorial, but for now that will be all for the tracking class. We can actually do more on advanced tracking with the motion with the Mocha Pro, but we're not going to be using that on this video. We'll be using that on another video when we get to that part of Mocha. So that'll be all for now guys. Peace out and then bye on this one. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more VFX and motion graphics tutorial. Thank you.